one of the most important skills all university students must have, but also one of the most difficult to master. You already know some note-taking strategies, but such as taking down only the most important information. But today I just want you to practice. I will give you a lecture of 10 sentences and will ask you to take notes of each sentence. We will compare our notes several times during the lecture, so you'll have a better idea of what your teachers expect from you. Let's start. Please get a piece of paper and a pencil and copy the title of today's lecture. It is Daylight Savings Time. As you can see, the title is quite long, so I'm going to use only its abbreviation in my notes. You can also divide your page into two halves, and please write at left. This part you will complete at home. It's also good to number your sentences and put the date of today's lecture. Ready? Let's start. Here's my first sentence. Twice a year, all the clocks in the United States are changed by 1 hour. Let's see what you wrote. I wrote twice a year, 1 hour in the United States. As you can see, I only used abbreviations. Let's continue. Listen to the next 3 sentences. Keep taking notes. In the spring, clocks are moved 1 hour ahead. It's called daylight savings time. In the fall, clocks are set back 1 hour to standard time. People remember how to change their clocks by remembering this saying. Spring forward, fall back. Ready? Let's look into our notes again. As you can see, I used some abbreviations here. I also used arrows for forward and back. And I used some complete words such as standard and people that are absolutely necessary for me to be able to understand my notes at home. Okay, let's continue. Listen to the next 3 sentences. It seems that Benjamin Franklin was the first person to propose the concept of daylight savings time. At that time, 1790s, people did not believe that he was serious. They thought that he was joking. But later on, during World War I, daylight savings time proved to be very useful because in the spring and summer, the sun rises early. Ready? Now let's compare our notes again. As you can see, I wrote only the initials of Benjamin Franklin because if you don't know how to spell the name, you can look it up later. And then I mentioned the most important dates. I also wrote the word joke and wrote the reason for daylight savings time. Good. Now come the final 3 sentences. Keep taking your notes. So, as a result, by moving their clocks 1 hour ahead, people can save extra daylight and 1 hour of energy consumption. Daylight savings time was also used during World War II, but it became a federal law mandatory for all states only in 1966. The law was named the Uniform Time Act. This is the end of my lecture, and let's see what you wrote about the last 3 sentences. As you can see, 1 hour ahead, save energy on daylight, which is the second part of the reason, and then important dates again. Finally, the complete title of the law. So, you've taken your notes. What's next? Next, you need to get back to your notes as soon as possible. You can do it right after class, or you can do it at home. But you need to do it soon before you forget what your abbreviations mean. So, at home, you complete the second part of your sheet. You can write complete sentences just as I did. But you can also write more words so you can remember all that information. For example, I wrote, twice a year all the clocks in the United States are changed by 1 hour. I kept writing sentences and I double-checked the spelling of the name. I also wrote the complete title of the law and made sure I have all the correct dates here. Now, after you have done all this, you're ready to answer any quiz questions your teachers might have for you about this lecture. For example, what is the Uniform Time Act? Or what does daylight savings time stand for? Or who was the first person to propose this concept? I hope you have learned to take your notes more effectively today. And good luck on your future note-taking.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. To keep up with ESLI at WKU and see what's going on here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can get all of our latest videos and news.